Hey ladies, this is your girl Camille Sheppard-Parrish, the Healthy Love Coach. And I wanted to come on and say hi to everyone. Let me know if you're joining me, if you can hear me. Just, you know, um, say hi. Drop something in the chat room, give me a chat box, give me a shout out so I can shout you out back. I love it when I know that people are out there listening to me, enjoying the content that I'm putting out for you. I wanted to come on and talk with you. Just got through a meeting with a few clients today and teaching a class. And, I wanted to come on because so many women need support nowadays. I don't know what you need personally, but I know that each person needs something. And a lot of times it could be something different. One of the things I want to encourage you is not to hide behind whatever the thing is that you need. It could be something simple. Um, Maybe you just need a hug. Maybe you just need a phone call or a text of encouragement. Maybe you need something deeper, right? In life. Maybe you do. We just need to understand what that is. Some of us are in situations that we need to get out of. Some of us are praying that we get into a situation that we've been looking to get into all of our lives, right? Some of us may be in emotional turmoil and we may be super depressed. I think about people like Kate Spade that passed this week and she took her life. When someone takes their life, it's just always such a sad thing because to me, it means that they had no hope. They didn't see a way out. They didn't see a light at the end of the tunnel. They didn't see hope. They didn't see another opportunity. They didn't see the possibility of things changing for them. And I think about Kate Spade. I think about Robin Williams. I think about Whitney Houston, and I can probably go on, right? And what their example tells us is that money is not the root to all happiness. Success is not the thing that brings us all happiness. Right? It's not the things that we have. It's not the big house or mansion or fancy car, high powered job or the business or the stock investments that we make. I read that Kate Spade was not even involved in her business or Kate Spade Company anymore. I don't know what the legal name is, but anymore. But I read that she um, and her husband got $33 million for the business some time ago, and so they haven't been involved. So she had a lot of money, right? I look at Robin Williams. He had the ability to make everyone laugh. I mean, what movie was he in that wasn't funny? I mean, this guy was super, super funny, right? And so he had the ability to make us laugh, right? But obviously, he was very sad and depressed inside and didn't have any hope, right? And the same with Whitney Houston, right? Something was going on, whether hers was intentional or accidental. Um, you know, Things happen. I look at Prince and Michael Jackson, and not that they committed suicide per se, but they were looking for escape for the emotions and feelings, or couldn't sleep, or whatever was going on with them, right? There was some emotional turmoil that was causing them some issues that they needed to seek out a physician to provide medication. And those things are not wrong in themselves. But the thing I always ask about each one of those situations is if someone knew what was going on with them, I mean, like for real. I mean, not like where someone says, "Hey, how you doing? What's up?" And you're like, "I'm good. I'm fine. Everything is great. Look at me on Facebook and social media. I'm happy. I'm smiling. I'm great." Right? I mean, like, dude, I'm not feeling well today. I feel like killing myself today. I don't feel happy. I don't feel like getting out of bed. I don't feel like eating. I don't feel like living. today. I really don't. I mean, first of all, the person they're speaking to may not know how to handle that, right? Because not many of us do, right? But if the only thing we can do is give a hug, say a prayer, call somebody, you know, give them a little hope. Sometimes a person just needs 30 seconds of something different in their mind to change their whole world, to give them a whole nother lifetime to live, right? And so, what I charge each one of you to do is to let's go back to really caring about each other, checking on each other, not just saying how you're feeling. And I did this test. I do this test all the time because people are so robotic, right? They're on autopilot all the time. They're in a hypnotic trance. They don't really pay attention. Watch this. When someone says, how you doing? You can say crappy. They'll say good, have a nice day. They're not even listening anymore. And I would do this thing. People say, hey, what's up? What's going on? I say, I'm about to kill myself. And they say, well, good. I hope you enjoy. Take care. They're not even paying attention anymore. I want to encourage you to wake up and really listen. And especially for those in my community who are looking to attract men, the one thing you need to learn how to do is to be present, to be open, and to be in tune with yourself and in tune with the person you want to be in relationship with, right? So these skills are super critical when it comes down to making a connection that you want to build on with someone who you want to build a future with. So I encourage you today, I really do, to, if you need help, raise your hand for help. I mean, even at a time when I was going through some really deep, dark stuff, my divorce, being a single mom, I was going through stuff with my kid. I have 3 boys. I've been through some stuff, right? I remember I made a post, who motivates the motivator? That was my cry for help. People were inboxing me, say, you okay? You good? You need something? And I'm not afraid to say, yeah, I just need a hug. I just need a movie. I just need a drink. I just need a good dance. I just need to go to a comedy show. I just need to laugh. I just need to have people around me. And a lot of times I had tons of parties, right? And the interesting thing was I'd always have tons of parties when I felt like I was going to that low place. Because I felt that if I could focus on others and if I can pour into others, that I could feel better. And it worked every time. It made me feel better. It's why I do a lot of preaching and teaching nowadays. It helps me teach others. And when I can look at other people and their problems and their situation, it helps me realize that mine might not be so bad. Right? And it helps me see that it's hope. And it helps me see that other people are really relying on me for support. I'm going to share something I don't know if I've ever shared with anyone. I have been in that dark place before where um, my first child, who's 30, he'll be 30 next month, he was just born. He was probably just a few months old. Um, my husband, I left my husband because he was beating on me, um, abusing me. Um, and I was only 20 years old. I was 19 years old when I was pregnant, 20 years old when I gave birth. And he beat me even when I was pregnant. And so we left. We had to escape that abusive situation. Um, I was selecting the wrong type of men. I didn't know what was wrong. He was doing drugs. He'd come home, he'd beat me. He'd do more drugs. He'd beat me, so much so that I had to carry a can of mace with me because I always needed to kind of spray him to escape. Right? And finally, he went to work one day and we escaped. And so now here I am, this young mother, 20 years old, living on my own. I was pretty successful at 20, decent job, still in college. I had my own place, living on the waterfront in New Jersey. I lived in a high-rise kind of condo building, and actually it was the same building Wendy Williams lived back then. Is where I used to live upstairs from her, or she lived upstairs from me. And my baby was crying, crying, crying. I don't know if he had colic or what was wrong with him. Um, and then he got super quiet, and I got quiet. And I think I had a friend that just died, and I was just feeling super lonely in that moment. And I remember at that moment, I felt like I didn't want to live anymore. I didn't care. I felt like moving forward another day was worse than just ending it in that moment. And so it was just me and my baby home. And I think I was living on the 11th floor. I had opened up the window. And at this time, I had not done any of my inner work. I didn't know why I felt so sad. I didn't know why I felt so angry. Um, I didn't connect the fact that I was raped multiple different times by 7 different people, and one of them was a woman. Um, I didn't know how to connect the fact that my mom didn't believe me when I was raped. I didn't know how to connect all the dots that my mom was mentally ill. I didn't know how to connect the dots that um, my dad I had watched my dad beat my mom on a few occasions. I didn't know how to connect the dots that I was so promiscuous as a teenager. And I really thought that sex was the way to get a man to like you, to love you, to be with you. Um, it was really the only time I felt good is when I was having sex with someone. I thought that was love. I thought that they were showing me how much that they loved me, but it was just the only thing that I knew because I had been raped so much, so many times. I didn't know. I didn't know that I was so broken inside. I didn't know that I had so many love blocks within me. I didn't know I had a wall up. I didn't know I had so much masculine energy and so much anger built up inside of me. I didn't know that I lost hope and I had given up in life and I could not see the possibility of tomorrow being a better day. It didn't have anything to do with money because I had a lot of money. My dad was very successful fashion designer. He owned restaurants. He was traveling back and forth to Europe. Heck, he had a Mercedes here in the state and a Rolls Royce in Europe. The home that we were buying in Europe was a multi-million dollar home, and it was in one of the magazines that indicated it was one of the top 30 homes in the world. This was the home we were, moving into. And so it wasn't that, it wasn't money. It was not healing what was going on inside of me, not knowing that I needed to be healed because I lived in a time where we weren't allowed to talk about the things that happened to us. We weren't allowed to tell the things that happened to us because if you were raped, it was your fault. What did you have on? Why were you in the room? Why were you there? Why didn't you do this and that and the other? So I didn't know. If you were battered, it was your fault. If, you know, anything happened, it was just your fault. Right? I didn't know what it felt like to have my mom and dad in the same home and to be loving to each other and supportive. Right? I did have my dad treat me well and call me, treat me like a queen or princess. I did have that experience, and I think that's part of what saved me. But I didn't know that I was broken from all of the other things that had happened to me in my life. I just didn't know. No one had told me that I was broken. No one had told me that I needed to do work. These things ended up showing up in my career, at the workplace. It blocked me from some promotions. It ended up showing up in my relationships. It blocked me. It ended up blocking my ability to be a good mother, um, until I had to learn how to do better, how to be better. Well, on that one night, I did open up the window because I wanted to jump out. I just, I just didn't want to live anymore. Sometimes I feel like that today. You just feel like, why does life give you so much to deal with? And it's just hard to deal with. But on that particular night, when I opened up the window, my baby started crying again, hysterically crying. And it caused me to go over and check on him because I do have a big heart. I went to check on him to see what was going on. And I picked him up and I held him, and he stopped crying. And he just kind of went back to sleep. I always said that that was God's way of tapping me on my shoulder and saying, not yet. I invite each and every one of you to tap someone on the shoulder and say, not yet. We get so inundated by social media telling us what we need to do all the time, telling us that we need to live like this or live like that, right? To show off what we have, right? Even in building your businesses, you have to be on social media every day, running through the rabbit hole of building your business, right? Because that's the only way you become popular or successful. And so for those of you who are introverts or don't like the media, like being in the public, that's a problem for you. You're never going to be successful, right? Or you may never meet a man, or you may never have the things that you want in life, because that's what society has conditioned us to believe, that we have to act like a fool every day on social media. We have to act like a maniac every day on Twitter. We have to do outrageous things to get attention. And I want to remind you that you don't. You don't have to get sucked into that type of life. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's okay to be present and enjoy who you are. It's okay to be spiritual and just raise your family serving God. It's okay to live a quiet and mild life and not living life out there where everyone can see it every day and judge you for it every day. It's okay. I go to dinner. I have date night with my husband every single Friday. I don't feel compelled to put a picture of us eating dinner every Friday for 52 weeks of the year on social media just to get attention. And you shouldn't have to feel that way either, to make sure your hair and makeup is perfect to post a picture, to make sure your scenery is just right to look like $1,000,000, right? To make someone hit the like button or the share button. You don't have to do that. The only thing you need to do is like who you are. The only thing you need to do is heal from the inside out. The only thing you need to do is restore healthy love from the inside out. And when you can restore what's going on inside of you, when you can identify what's going on inside of you, when you can identify what is your ish, what is your pain, who broke your heart, what happened to you in your life, and you can be totally honest and transparent about it. And then you get on a path to do the work, to heal and restore healthy love, rejuvenate love. You'll be on a path to get your life on track. You will start to be in aligned with who you are authentically. You will start to be in alignment with yourself. You will start to live and be the passion that you desire in life. You will start to be the love that you want to attract. You will start to be in your feminine energy, right? Because you won't be so driven by this male dominated society. You will understand that femininity is okay. It's okay to be and be still and be silent and be you. It's okay not to be like someone else. It's okay to be authentic, because that's what he's looking for anyway. If he wanted someone else and everyone else, he would be with them. But everybody is acting like everyone else. Who's acting like you? Who's being you? And when it comes down to creating relationships and building a future with someone, he's looking for you and who you are authentically. He's not looking to see if you're a carbon copy. You got the boobs and the butt like everybody else. He's looking for who he's looking for, whatever he's looking for. And if you're not it, it's okay. If you're not who he's looking for, thank him for being honest and upfront from the beginning and letting you know that you're not who he's looking for, right? You shouldn't pine and beg and chase him to tell you what you need to do to change. You should just be thankful that he was very honest and authentic and true to himself and you. And now use that information to go be true to you and find out what you need to be happy on the inside with who you are, right? And if there are things you need to change, change them. Don't be ashamed of them. Change them. But don't feel compelled to change them to get a man. Feel compelled to change them because you want to change them, because you want to live a happy life, because you want to have joy in your heart, because you want to be fulfilled. And if he wants to come along on that ride and join you, and you're open to that, that's quite all right. But don't feel compelled to change yourself for a man or for society. Feel compelled to change you because you think it's time for a change. And if you don't think it's time for a change, even though the whole world around you is changing, forget them. You don't have to change. If everybody's having sex in the first 3 dates, you don't have to do that. If women are doing this and that to get a man, you don't have to do that. Be different. Be authentic. Be you. You'll probably attract a man faster. Right? And so many women don't know what's blocking them from the love that they desire. Many women don't know what's blocking them from the happiness and joy they really seek in this world. We're chasing everything that the world is saying chase. They say go right, we start going right. Go left, we start going left. And we start just running and chasing things and we don't even know why. And they never give us the result we want. And even when we get to million, trillion, billion bucks, we're still not happy. And many of us are ending up losing hope and giving up. So I challenge you to, one, reach out and support someone. I'm sure there's someone in your community you haven't heard from in quite a bit. And I'm sure there's someone who keeps popping into your mind, or they keep coming, you keep thinking about them. It's like, I got to call them in a day, and a 2 and 3 and 5 goes by. Call them. What I do now is, when I think of someone, I call them. Even if I just send them a text, hey, what's going on? Give them a quick call. Can you talk real quick? I only need 5 minutes. I wanted to say hi. You're on my mind. I want to make sure you're okay. Do you need anything? And I try to make an appointment. When could we get together for dinner or drinks, or to hang out? Because I realize life is precious, and you won't always have that time to do that with people. I've lost my mom and my dad. And boy, oh boy, do I wish I had a little bit more time. Kate Spade, Robin Williams, they were Whitney Houston. They were family members, parents, friends to many people. Who are you going to be a friend to? And if you need a friend, you need to let someone know you need a friend, because no one can read your mind. It's time to stop suffering in silence. It's time to let go of shame, blame, and guilt. It's time to get the help you need by any means necessary. If you got to stand on top of Facebook Live and say, I need help, you do what you need to do, so somebody can give you the support, the help, the hug, the kiss, the resources to get what you need. Okay. And so, help somebody, support somebody today. Find out who needs help. This is why I do what I do. This is why I help the women the way I help the women, because I know that so many of you have been broken from the inside out. And then people have taken advantage of you because you're broken and you need help. And now you're afraid to reach out for help because you're afraid of being hurt again. It's unfortunate this is the type of world that we're living in. I want to encourage you. This is why I do so many free events, because I really want to help you see the possibilities of healing and creating healthy love from the inside out. I want you to see the possibility of having the happiness and the joy that you truly seek. I want you to see the possibilities of building the future with a man that you truly desire, and that one that truly desires to be with you. And I want you to really reach that. And I work really hard to make sure you could see that possibility. Yesterday, I thought about closing my doors. I'm like, they don't get it. You put so much energy and time. I'm just being transparent right now. I put so much energy, time, and hard work in everything I do to give you the real deal with Camille. And I said, they don't even get it. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to get the help. They don't want to open up. They don't really want to heal. They want to continue to walk through life and be fake and broken and lonely. Why am I spending all my energy? I make $250,000 plus in corporate America. Every year I work in corporate America. I don't need to do a coaching business. Why are you doing it? Why? I can close this door and I can go do double, right? Easy $250,000 plus. Anybody in IT knows that I'm speaking the truth. So I hope that you really, really take advantage of the resources that I'm providing here, because I have those days too. I say, why am I doing it? They don't really get it. They don't really want it. But the few of you that see the possibility in your breakthrough, and your transformation is what keeps me going. And we're going to do this again. Like I said, this Sunday, I'm offering a 3-part series, and I hope that you join. It's really how to stop dating the wrong type of men. We have to stop getting into toxic relationships. We have to stop putting sex on the table because we think that's going to get him to commit to you. You cannot sex him into a commitment. And you can tweet that. You can't sex him into a commitment. You can't pay him into a commitment. You can't shame him into a commitment. You can't cry him into a commitment. You can't trick him into a commitment. You cannot force a man to commit to you that doesn't desire to commit to you. So stop falling in love and committing to someone who's not first committing to you. We commit to them. We become monogamous and exclusive, and we're like with them. And as soon as they call, we're like answering our phone, and we're at their beck and call. And we're like, you know, they tell us to come over at 1:00 in the morning, and you know, and only thing you need to do is add on top of your truck a siren to say, "Hey, we deliver," right? Because that's what you're doing. It's not going to change his decision or his opinion about you. You have to change your opinion about you. And you have to make the decision to do something different. You have to stop wondering, why am I still single? Why is she not single? What does she have that I don't have? And stop just spying and get radical. Make some changes. Be authentic. Want something true and do your inner work, because if you don't do the inner work, and I'm going to steal that from Ayanna Van Zandt, you have to do your inner work. I've done mine, and I'm still doing mine. I'm here to help you do yours. But if you don't want to do it, I can't make you do it. And just watching me behind a screen every day, or watching a post or liking a post, it's not going to make you do your inner work. What makes you do your inner work is you doing your inner work and making the changes inch by inch by inch by inch. And that process is what creates your transformation. That shift is what makes you find joy and happiness in your own purpose, your well-being, your spiritual connection with God, your connection with yourself. That's when we get to that point, that's the point where we become very irresistible to men and to anybody. We become attractive, right? Because now people want to be with us. They want to know what you got going on. Give me some of that happy juice. Give me some of that healing juice. Give me some of that healthy love juice, right? They want some of that. Why, when we look at certain people, we want to be a part of them? We just want to be there. We pay all kinds of money to be there, buy a ticket to their show, show up, right? We wait online all times of night to get there, to get a ticket or whatever. It's because they have something that we desire. They give us that feeling that we wish we had on our own. But you can get it too. But you have to do your work. You have to heal from the inside out. We can't just heal from the outside in and wear our mask and our makeup and our hair and our boobs and our butt and get our fancy dancy degrees. Oh yeah, I got a lot of degrees and certifications. But that's not where our happiness lies. The joy comes from in here, all in here. It doesn't come from out there. It's not going to come from having 1,000 likes or 10,000 likes or 100,000 likes. Those people that have 100,000 likes are still killing themselves. So it can't be where the joy comes from. Your joy comes from having a solid relationship with your Creator and a solid relationship with yourself. It's the only way you're going to have peace and joy in this world that we're living in. So I hope this has encouraged or helped somebody. You can download it and share it. And I hope you invite someone who needs support into our community, because our community is the real deal. It is the real deal with Camille. And we're here to give you real support where we can. And where I can't help you, I always invite somebody who can. You don't have to do this alone. You don't have to stay in a toxic, abusive relationship. Plan your escape. Keep your mouth shut, which we don't know how to do. You don't have to say, I'm leaving, I'm going to escape, I'm going to get out of here. No. I didn't do that when I escaped my abusive situation. He came home, furniture, clothes, everything was gone. We were gone. And I told the doorman, do not tell him where we went or what time we left. We had doormans in New Jersey where I live. And I'm encouraging you, if you're in a toxic, negative, bad situation, do the same. Escape, get out. Keep your mouth shut. Create your own exit plan. Be your own rescue. Call somebody. People will help you. And if that person don't help you, go knock on the next door and be persistent. Even the scriptures say they will open the door, not because they want to, not because they desire to, but because of your persistence. Reach out for help. Nobody can read your mind. And you might find that people are a lot kinder and more loving than you thought. They're not going to talk about you. They're not going to embarrass you. They're not going to post about your situation on social media. And if those are the kind of friends you have, you need to get rid of them anyway. They just want to help. And I just want to help. And I hope this has helped somebody. I wish you all love, and I hope you have a good night. Make sure you hug someone. Make sure you call someone, text someone, check on someone. Take someone to lunch, send them a card, bring them a flower. It doesn't have to be expensive. Just give them a hug and sit. Find some older woman or man that's older and just bring them something, a drink or dessert, and just listen to the stories that they tell. You will be more encouraged than they are. Okay, I'm out of here. I wish you well. Bye, everyone.